What's up everybody, welcome back to Tech 2000. Today in this video we're going to be talking about the tale of the tape between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, along with the Xbox Series X and the PS5 Digital Edition, and which one you should get based on your preferability. Now obviously which one you want is based off of what you prefer. And for me, I think I preferred the Xbox Series X over the PlayStation 5, mainly because all of my friends have Xbox Ones and I can play with them online. And the thing about the Xbox Series X is it is more powerful than the PlayStation 5. It has been proven to be more powerful than the PlayStation 5. The 1 terabyte SSD makes load times like basically non-existent. Okay, and the games on it look phenomenal. Now I'm sure the games on the PlayStation 5 look just as great. Now where it really comes down to it is the games. The games is where it sets the men from the boys. And the games haven't really come out for either system yet. And that's the thing, like PlayStation 4, you can play Spider-Man Miles Morales, but you can also play it on the PS5. So it's not an exclusive to the PS5. And the Xbox Series X also doesn't have any exclusives yet. It will once Halo Infinite comes out later this year, but we're not talking about that right now. And another thing is, if all of your friends are playing on Xbox, you're not going to want to go and buy a PlayStation 5, because then you can't play with them unless you're playing a game like Call of Duty Cold War, which is, it's like cross-platform. So of course, if you're playing games like NBA 2K and stuff like that, you're not going to want to buy the opposite console of which all of your buddies have, because then you can't play with them. Another thing that a lot of people like to talk about is the controllers. Now, I have used an Xbox Series X controller and a PlayStation 5 controller. They're both amazing. I really like how the Xbox controller feels. I've always loved the Xbox controllers, especially like the 360 and the Xbox One. And this one is basically the exact same as the Xbox One. Now you can get the Elite 2 controller, which will run you about $200, I think. And that's, I mean, it might be worth it. I've never used one, but compared to the PlayStation 5 controller, I feel like that is already an Elite controller with the haptic feedback and everything in the controller. It's just an amazing experience, especially when you're playing Astro's Playworld. Now, if you're going for a digital console, which one should you get? If you're going to get the Xbox Series S, not the X, it takes away a lot of the power that the X has. But with the PlayStation 5 digital, you get all the same power except you can't put a disc in it. And the thing is, like, the Xbox Series X is only $299, whereas the PlayStation 5 is $399. And what sets it apart really is the games and what console you like better. That's the only thing that sets them apart, except for the power. If you're going for an Xbox anyways, I would just save up and get the Xbox Series X for $200 more. But if you're going for the PS5 and you don't play disc games, go ahead and get the digital version. It's not a watered down version of the PlayStation 5 disc version at all. It's the exact same thing, just no disc drive. But if you're going to get the Series S, just know that it's not powerful. It doesn't have the same frames per second, the same 1 terabyte SSD. It doesn't have the same load times or anything like that. you're getting a very, very watered down version of a next generation console, which is fine if you don't care about all the other factors. Now, another thing that you can mention is Xbox Game Pass. On Xbox Game Pass, you can get a lot of games for just $15 a month. You can also get Xbox Live Gold and just upgrade it to Game Pass for $1, and it's really worth it in my opinion. And you can play 360 games on it, and even some original Xbox games, and you can play every single Xbox One game there is. Now on the PlayStation 5, you cannot play anything other than PlayStation 4 games and PlayStation 5 games. And in my opinion, that's a big setback for Sony. If you could play PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, it would be a way bigger deal than it already is. That being said, in the developer mode on Xbox Series S and X, you can play some select Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo DS, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1. You can play a lot of games in developer mode if you have the hard drive with it downloaded on it. Now, since we know all this information and we know that the PlayStation 5 is less powerful than the Xbox Series X, now since we have all this information, what it really comes down to is what you can play on it, what you can do on it, like who you're gonna play with, who your friends play on. Yeah, it's gonna come down to the specs of it. It's not really anything with the console itself, it's just what you prefer. Do you like the Xbox controller? Do you like the PlayStation 5 controller? Do you like the more powerful console? Do you want to play with your friends? It comes down to those things. And in my opinion, the Xbox Series X is what I truly would be happy with, because all of my friends play on it. I love the controller. I love everything about it so far. And yeah, it's really all down to what you prefer, and I chose the Xbox Series X. Even though I've been a PlayStation guy my entire life. I had the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, and now I just now switched to Xbox, just because I thought that was the way to go. And so far, it has been the best console that I've ever played on. So yeah, I hope this video helped you in making your choice. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.